Welcome to the 8th day of this 30-day challenge, and thank you for all the support you've given to me in this journey with Lovingly Yours English. The first week was all about spade work. Yes, we did the spade work. We have collected maximum vocabulary, whatever we had with us, and we have also learned a little of pronunciation. Now the journey gets little more serious. Now in this week, that is the second week of the 30-day journey, we are going to go look at the what I referred to earlier as the nitty-gritties of the language. What makes language more meaningful and beautiful? Vocabulary is the pillar of a language. Now there are different functions of this vocabulary. A sentence to become meaningful must have all kinds of vocabulary. Now we need to put the vocabulary that we have learnt in sentence, and that too in a meaningful order. And there is a specific arrangement for the vocabulary in a sentence. Now this vocabulary can be divided into two parts. One is it can be called as content words, and the second division is functional words. Functional words can also be called as grammatical words because they provide the structure to the sentence, the form to the structure. The content word provides meaning to the sentence, and the functional or grammatical words provide the structure or form to the sentence. Now let's look at the table and find out the differences between the content words and the functional words. Okay, please look at it. The first point of difference between the two: content words provide meaning to the sentence. Without them, there is no meaning in the sentence. Okay, and these are the words for which, when we do not know the meanings, we look up in the dictionary or refer to the Google. Right? Then, what is the next point? They can change forms by getting prefixes added to them or suffixes added to them. Like happy becomes happier. Happier can become happiest. Tall, taller. Infection, infectious. Okay. When we speak, we stress the content words. Okay. They are more stressed while speaking. The functional words just remain there, or they're not highlighted so much, unlike the content words. And the most important point is that the more the content words, the richer a language becomes. We have heard that these words have come into English language from other languages, or these words now have become redundant, they have left the language. Yes? So there are many new words that get added to the language, and similarly there are many words that leave the language. So we need to keep a track of the new vocabulary that makes the language richer. Okay? The family of content words comprises of nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs as the main pillars. Then, apart from these four categories, we also have the negative words like no, not, never, and then we have some demonstratives like this, that, these, those, and the last, the WH words: what, when, why, how. So these are the different categories of content words. Let's now look at the features of the grammatical words. What makes them so distinct? So the first point is they provide structure and form to the sentences. Okay, they hold the sentence together. Unlike the content words, the grammatical words are fewer in number. They have very well defined roles and rules for themselves. The next point, the functional words or the grammatical words do not change. In speech, the functional words remain unstressed, unlike the content words. They're also referred to as closed words because they have, as I said earlier, that their roles are very well defined. They don't change. I must add the phrase conditions apply because exceptions are always there, right? Let's move on and look at the table once again to have a look at the categories under the functional words. Functional words comprise of the pronouns, the auxiliaries or the helping verbs, the prepositions, the conjunctions, the determiners, the articles. As we move ahead in this journey, we will look at each of these categories in detail. For now, we are coming back to the content words. This information is very basic but very critical in helping us in our sentence formations. Okay, so let's look at the first part. That's the nouns. So under the nouns, it is the names of persons, place or thing. Now, under person, you can have any name, any of your favorite names. Here I have mentioned Rahul, Salma, Robert. Then you have student, parent, teacher, children. There are other words like ocean, house, computer, English. Now let us look at the category of verbs. Verbs are the words that define action or state. Please look at it. Some of the examples of verbs are write, speak, understand, travel, think, and the list goes on and on. Let's look at the third category, and that is the adjective. Adjectives are the words which describe the nouns. We've already discussed the nouns. So those words which describe the words under nouns are called adjectives. Please look at the slide which is coming up right away. So adjectives describe person, place or thing, like easy, light, bright, careful, dangerous. I've just listed a few, and as we discuss, we can have more of them. Let's look at the fourth category onto the screen and understand what are adverbs. Like adjectives describe nouns, adverbs describe verbs. They tell us how things happen. Now some of the adverbs are quickly, easily, thoughtfully, frequently, often, sometimes, yes, to name a few. Now let us look at some of the sentences to understand the difference between the content words and grammatical words. Now for convenience, I have marked the content words as CW and the grammatical words as GW. Okay. Now the first sentence, I must behave responsibly during the lockdown period. Can you guess the content words and the grammatical words? Please look at the sentence. The content words are marked as CW. Behave, the verb, responsibly, the adverb, and lockdown period, the noun. You see, if you remove these words, what remains? I will during the, is there any meaning? Now, the content words provide the meaning. Now, if you remove the content, if you remove the grammatical words, look at the sentence. Behave responsibly, lockdown period. Still you can convey the meaning, yes? So that is the purpose of content words. But to make it a very, meaningful sentence, complete meaningful sentence, we need to say the full sentence. Now look at the second sentence. COVID-19 is a highly infectious disease. COVID-19 is a highly infectious disease. Now, which are the content words? Other than is and all the others are content words. Now let us look at the rest of the three sentences on your screen. The children must wash their hands carefully. The children must wash their hands carefully. Now here, I think you learnt this now. The content words, children, noun, wash, verb, hands, noun, carefully, adverb. The next one, English is an international language. English is an international language. So the content words, very obvious, English, international language. So is and are the grammatical words. The next one, my friend writes diary thoughtfully. My friend writes diary thoughtfully. Again, which are the content words? Friend writes diary thoughtfully. Friend, noun, writes, verb, diary, noun, and thoughtfully, adverb. Every sentence that we speak has a purpose. Now try playing with the sentences. Try removing some of the words and see if the meaning stands. And if the meaning stands, then they are the content words. And if it doesn't, then they are the functional words. I'm talking in the context of a sentence, a complete, meaningful sentence, right? The purpose of today's video was to make all of us aware that every word in a sentence has got its contribution to make it sound perfect, meaningful, communicative, or comprehensible, right? So the content words and the grammatical words. Now, what is the work for today? Take out your notebooks and the words which you have already listed. Just try if you can categorize them into the categories which I have defined in this particular session. So now, open your notebooks into your second section. Note down these 5 sentences with the clear markings of CW and GW, the content words and the grammatical words. Now, the actual work is, whatever the list you have, the list of vocabulary that you have collected during this period, during the last 7 days, try to categorize each of the words into or under the category of noun, verb, adverb, adjective, and see that if you can put a few of them together so that in order to find out whether they convey meaning or not. For example, if I put COVID-19 highly infectious disease, the meaning is coming out, yes? It is not a meaningful sentence completely, but it is communicating the purpose. So get the vocabulary from the list and try to put it in some order wherein it conveys some meaning. It would be fantastic if all of you could listen to the speech by Matt Cutts on Try Something New in 30 Days. It is there on TED Talks. The link is also there in the description box. Please listen to it. It's a lovely speech and it will inspire you into furthering your tasks, whether it's on Loving the Years English or in any other tasks. Okay? So until I see you in the next video, please stay home, stay safe, and stay calm.